Hello everyone, Swez here, back with another video. In this video, I want to talk about something that is very important as far as interviews are concerned. Now, one thing that I've noted about interviews is that many people, when they're getting ready for an interview, what they focus on is how they will respond to the questions that they're asked, right? So they'll be like, okay, what if they ask me, um, why did you apply for this job? Or why do you think you're the perfect fit for this job? Or any other questions that we expect that they will ask us, right? So most of the times the preparation is all about, you know what, let me just get myself ready for the questions that they will ask me. Now, one important part that many people miss is the questions that they will ask the interviewing panel, right? So if you look at an interview, or maybe just employment, it is something that is twofold, right? So we have the organization here and we have yourself here. So you are looking for a job and they are looking for for a candidate. So this is something that will be beneficial to both. You will grow in your career as you work for them, and they will benefit as a business or as an organization. They'll benefit from your skills. So this is something that is two-way, right? So one thing that I've noted for most of the times is that we just focus on, like, you know what, I want them to see that I am the right candidate for this position. Yes, that's the most important part because you're looking for a job. But also one thing that you don't know, many people don't do is they don't want to see if that organization is the right organization for them. So they don't prepare questions that they will ask the interviewing panel. So in this video, I want to talk about some of the questions that you can ask them after the interview. Now, let me say at the end of the interview, because for the most part, when you're asked questions in an interview room, likely at the end they say, okay, so James, do you have any other questions for us? Or Vanessa, do you have any other questions for us? They do ask you that question. Now, most of the times, what people say is like, oh yes, I have one question. When will the results be out? That's it. Most of the times, people ask the very same question. The very same question. Now, that question is important. Yes, you really want to know when the results will be out. But let me just say one thing that I've noted to do with employment. For the most part, when they say the results will be out in 2 weeks, or maybe they say they'll be out in a week, most of the times results don't come out as they have told us because the organizations they have a lot of things going on and they're not only focusing on recruitment. So it happens that the results may even take a month or 2 months, or it can take time. So yes, that is an important question for you to know when the results will be out. But there are other important questions that you can ask them for you to also gauge the suitability of them as an employer for yourself. Because what they're trying to do is during the interview, they are checking your suitability for the role. But you should also check on them. All right. So, as I said, many people don't ask a lot of questions. But today, I want to give you, let's say, 3 or 4 or 5 questions that you can ask them at the end of the interview. Right. So, the first question that you can ask them is this one. You can ask them to say, if I am the successful candidate for this position, I would like to know the key pain points that you would like me to focus on in the first 3 months. Right. I'll say it again. If I am the successful candidate for this position, I'd like to know I'd like to know the key pain points that your department is facing in relationship to this role that you'd want me to focus on for the first 3 months. Now, this is an important question because normally the one who answers this question is the manager to be for yourself, or the supervisor, or someone who would be your supervisor when they employ you. And likely they're also part of the interview panel, right? So they are the ones who answer you this question to say, oh, you know what, when you come, this is what we expect you to do, or ABCD. They'll tell you of the key pain points or why they're trying to employ you. Because yes, you have said why they should employ you, but also you're trying to say, okay, why? You're also asking them to say, what are some of the things that you expect from me in the first 3 months? Now, what that does also, it prepares you mentally, right? Because you'll be like, okay, if I go, they talked about maybe increasing sales, they talked about this, or they talked about that. So that helps you to prepare yourself mentally. So that's the first question that you can ask. And if possible, if you know who your manager will be when you're employed, because normally in an interview setup, let me just give an example to say you have, let's say, 3 members on the panel. Likely one is the HR, the other one is your manager or someone who will manage you, and then any other person. make sure that you direct this question to the manager, because normally they introduce themselves and they will know to say, okay, they'll tell you this one is HR, this one is the manager, or this one is ABCD. So you should direct the question to them and say, to you, sir, or to you, madam, whatever I just said. Yes. So that's the first question. Now, the second question, which you can ask, this one you can direct it to the HR in the interview panel. You can ask them this question to say, I would like to know what continuous professional development programs you have as an organization. I am someone who is very ambitious and I'd like to learn and grow in my career. So I'd just like to know some of the CPD, so the continuous professional development programs that you do have as an organization. So that one is also important, because what that shows is like, okay, you are someone who is very ambitious. You're someone who wants to grow when you get into the organization, and you're looking for means for you to grow. Now, likely they have prepared for this question. They'll tell you, okay, maybe we pay school fee, not school fees, yeah, even school fees, but they'll tell you maybe we pay fees for conferences for staff members. We pay. They'll tell you whatever they have as an organization, like the questions, right? The programs that they have as an organization. So that is a very important question. And as I said, this one you can direct it to the HR, because they are the ones that are responsible for people management or growth within the organization. Now, let's talk about the third question that you can ask. This one can be a simple one to say, I would like to know the key performance indicators for this position, right? Simply ask them, I would like to know the key performance indicators for this position. You can even say, okay, maybe just mention one or two key performance indicators for this position. This question will also directly go to the manager to be for yourself, and they'll be able to answer to say, okay, maybe these are our key performance indicators. They'll be able to mention them A, B, C, D, X, Y, Z, and likely that will also give you an idea of what you should expect once you are employed. Yeah, are you guys getting me? Yeah, we're making good progress. Now, let's go to question number 4. I think that one was the third one. Now, question number 4 is also very important. Now, this one, you're just trying to get a feel of like what it is like to be a successful candidate in that role. Now, what you can ask them is to say, I would like to know what a successful candidate looks like in this role. Now, if it is a position that has already been there, maybe you're just replacing someone who resigned, likely they'll tell you, oh, we expect someone who is doing ABCD or XYZ. But also, if it is a new position, they'll tell you, okay, this is what we expect from yourself. So they'll tell you what a successful candidate looks like. Okay, maybe they're always hitting their targets. They're always, tell you, they'll tell you, right? So you can ask them these 4 questions. Now, the last one, which is the most important one. For this one, I'll let you do your research. Now, let me put it this way. When I say I'll let you do your research, when you're getting prepared for an interview, I always say, if possible, get to go on the employers' websites, social media platforms, and see what they've been doing in recent times. See the projects that they're doing, whatever they've been working around, and then you can be able to find a question from whatever they have been posting online or any news that is in the media, right? So this is how this question would go. It will be different, but this is how this question would go. So, for example, you have checked the organization, they have started a new project to do with something else that you're interested in, or maybe they have just started a new project or something else. Now, this is how you can ask this question to say, okay, so I was reading about your company or this company that I'm interviewing for, and I just noted that you have started project XYZ. I would just like to know how important is my role in this project. Now, they will tell you to say, oh, yeah, likely we have this position in place because of this project, and we expect you to do ABCD, and your contribution will lead to XYZ for this project. So this question, I'll let you do the research for the organization, and then find something that the organization is doing or they have done, and then you can be able to ask them a question in relation to whatever you've been able to find out. Let me give you a simple example. When I was doing an interview for NHS Highland, I did a little bit of Googling, and then I found that they just built the new treatment center here in Inverness. So what I did was I asked them a question to say, oh, so it was a procurement interview, as you already know. So I asked them a question to say, oh, so I just saw you built the National Treatment Center. I'd just like to know what was the involvement of procurement in that project. Now, they were, in my view, I think they were like, oh, means this guy has been reading more about us, right? So they told me like, oh, procurement has been doing A, B, C, D, X, Y, Z, and yeah. So I hope you do find these questions helpful. So instead of just asking when will the results be out, make sure you ask questions similar to these ones. Now, you can be able to find ways to go around these questions. These are not set on stone. You can be able to find a way to craft them in a way that will kind of like work for you. But make sure you ask maybe 2 or 3 questions. I wouldn't say you should ask all these 5, but maybe you can just pick out maybe 3 of these questions and then you can ask them. And at the end of it all, when they ask you if you have any questions, yes, say, yes, I have 3 specific questions for you. Now you ask them whatever questions you choose out of these 5. I hope you do find this video helpful. And yeah, if you do, I'll see you guys in the next video. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and share with someone who is having interviews. Maybe tomorrow, or the next day, or maybe next week, or maybe next year, depending on when you're watching this video. I'll see you guys in this. I want to say I'll see you guys in this video. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.